Me will be a quabble with Jinyame channel so. Say, I'm a pan out here, me machi. Every answer, and you may swap, my job. Mr. Also, best subscribe. Watch it, normal will be information, so I make use of it. And then, so me could see, Kawaka say, I didn't make a party and I make a visa. An interview, no, and what I did into the machine, because I am in time and she that and she could. And then, if I become Emra, myself. Lawyer Nibio court or share a friend to mother, she could, internet is my she could. Your name running be a Ghana community moha, a back emra, a lower, or ya de pa, or your name might be brave. Ni baby in it, no be Juma Woody, or your name might be brave, said the medical kind. Obeboni di, no actually the kind of law, and Penny for said, if there's a new king, there's a new law. Biden about the first quarter of the year, you named the Odeba. You knew me, sorry, I near Tranke, your Koijuma. News class sometime Ed and said, the BTV, the year training stimulus check, a bad year, Yatias. But near my break, come on, ye knew. Ye bray. Would you accotanimo, a mranium, a yellow, intino, or back train, near man, Biden the Abba. And it's a service you will be beating our number, a 3 hour bay. Near my obey ya the way, would you protect him? Or not so better, the Utimi as a lawyer, or the Bebo. Simple and other chibimpo, as so in Bitoa, obey me, I did, to charge you up. And no come and I hear baby. Me come home, you are the 4 being some person catching a channel for. So, more career me lawyer yet, na then I starting comodino. It is cramming, Manco baby, the bus is here.
Hello, I'm Abnaba Fuboni.
And I'm Adra Hemkra.
And we love watching Jinyame Channel, Dallas, all the way from Roanoke, Virginia. Bye!
Yeah, I'm on phone and I'm watching Adam. Jinyame Channel, Noan, Yetie, BNT, be Dallas, Texas. Yes, in Penisi, Ufun Diapa, and Yipian War. Jinyame Channel, my Paul Mantem, most Senate Campo. We are say, what France is so to be fun to touch your home. Jinyamiana, my the best. Love you guys.
You, at all for your damasi. You try a home, Yaba. I feel never starting and come on. I feel no about being so being nothing as an affair. We need a long, young lawyer, our hard in any baby won't come on. Fee, I'm the fee, I am a friend, but our hard a sikakum, a dinoco, everybody did no actually. Fee. The Macau Dynamic channel, so
yeah,
yeah, oh, try at least, yeah. That's it. Me that's say we'll try so we country here, you know. What's me aka bro from him say lawyer the Debiano, bro for na use most of the time, you know. And for our public Ghanaian community, you know, training, you know, what me use bro for no. Or the fix baby, yeah. Don't worry, they all can yeah, metro. Yeah, in your side, this yeah, and I think I'm there. Yeah, Obebodi, no actually, the oil.
Yo, and you told me that's it. Me Dindi Samuel Fibbens at the koranteng, and but most microphobia know me as Fifi koranteng.
And so you're a lawyer, right?
Yes, me a lawyer with DFW area, I say.
Okay.
Me were licensed to practice with Texas, Missouri, and in Illinois. But for the last 6 years, Texas and practice where we were clients were other places as well.
Oh, okay, good. Now, how long are you a lawyer?
We're in the 14th year of practice.
Oh,
so
okay.
2007, I think, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's nice. And you know, I'm not alone, and someone teaching will be brave. And you then now, specialized on.
Well, yeah, it's a question, and yet very easy to answer, right? Okay. But you kind of say over 14 years now, I've had the privilege of practicing in many different settings.
Okay.
In TMF Law School, I'm a law clerk for a court of appeals judge.
Okay.
And I'm going to a big law firm with over 100 lawyers. At this point, they're actually 300 lawyers. I was told. And I'm a fee hono, and I'm a starting Miami law firm.
Okay.
And then eventually, be a general counsel which is a company lawyer.
Okay.
For 2 different companies. And then I did me back Texas, I say.
Oh, okay.
And for about 6 years, now I'm a general counsel for 2 different groups of companies. And my year Juma was different settings, and because of that, my experience at 1 year very broad.
Okay.
And since 2019, I started back my law firm, and my law firm it's a general practice. I represented individuals, any small businesses mainly in various areas. Some immigration work, some family law work. Even nowadays, some probate stuff, and I the community has a. Also, we have some estate planning work for families. On the business side, we represent businesses. Several clients are me company lawyer essentially. So anything they call me. But a lot of what me dealing with contracts and either negotiation, review, drafting, and then it's talk about business litigation.
Good. Now, sometimes I say, and you to interview ni bisawa. So I say, and you to then I start to say, oh, na me woman, me young and na me to know. But oh, yeah, lawyer, then about muna, onya passion, because sometimes about America, yeah, na medical field that na no one most of the time. Then about muna choose that profession as a lawyer.
Well, so being Ghana focus yeah, BBI new. Yeah, collaborate when I say, you're a small boy now, when you're growing up, you're doctor, that's all you're lawyer, that's all you're pilot. But we share one. Me secondary school days, O-level, A-level, I mean, was math and science need basically ruled out, aviation and medicine for me. And so at some point, me back US about college, me decided to have it twice, then it was a very easy decision. That's the field that I want to go into.
Good. Then you say, dear, say, we are just lawyers, so you're lawyer, passion on our
there is. I mean, obviously, you say some advanced degrees, but and yet say there a discussion but now benefit everyone is what I think you should choose, right? And so choose to be I think so. Some old person there can say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So it's a direction.
That Oka say Ghana school, Ghana high school when I for it.
We can cover this thing, Mary Mama.
Go for your trouble, put you back, Mumeti.
We can cover this thing.
Hey, Gala, we have your role. If you want it, you are. Yeah, your role. Now, process of becoming a lawyer in America, no. Wait me ask summarize on a crassy and somehow okay. I ended the be of my papa has some okay, law a school be a medical. Process is in a duration assign it here.
Sure. So what you were doing earlier, so we called law school. It's always undergrad. Obviously, from high school, with me started. I take certain courses that steer you towards that direction. A lot of it is for instance, logic courses and things like that. But so so-called law school, obviously at some point we applied to law school. It is we started building a resume, for lack of a better term, from high school. Who a strong high school record, and nowadays, of course, I know debatedly do to a good university for undergrad. into we call undergrad. You can always take pre-law classes. I think most schools have pre-law programs or more essentially package it in such a way say who take courses settle up for for going to law school. And so typically we undergrad sometime before we take LSAT. LSAT, and then apply to law schools. We take LSAT. I applied to law schools. Your high school record, your undergrad record, and your LSAT scores, and then sometimes 1 year extracurricular activities, and be settle up for getting into a good school. And to be get into a law school, it's typically 3 years. Sometimes if so depending on program, I'll call it. So if you can only do night school, you can only do so many. You can only take so many courses per semester. It's longer. Sometimes, depending on how well you do too, it's slightly shorter, but 3 years is usually the duration. So between undergrad and law school, 7 years.
Good, yeah, that's it. So we need to have Ghanaian channel now. Share lawyer Fifi waka the way opposite your lawyer. Train maybe they are best starting on the years that will be the over. If I say we school near maybe or I for say you were with the meeting them were meet me but why making and breaking it down easier when you say okay oh yeah wait me there see I know you be try on yakodi commercial break a young crato to say yeah na person mixing English in it say there more muti when you comments then I say young camp for no immediately mixing up Matias kakra you be try on lawyer or a foot to be the my as Ghanaian community you me near my so ya be born immigration near my bibia uniano with me a contact no abon a law firm din bibia uniano with me aboa na kwama advisor ebeboa or client be prayer or good name intino with me and then akasa me try ho ye ba ye the immigration staff no ebeto aso menko be bia twen
Hi, Babylon for me to be my brochure. Yana my brochure. Brochure. Hey, brochure. So they have one brochure was the pendiat. So dynamic get time, but time is our sanity. A brochure never coffee, brochure.
Welcome to Transatlantic Air and Ocean Shipping USA. We are the only reputable shipping company that offers air cargo from Dallas to Ghana within 7 to 10 business days. Transatlantic ships from household goods, cars, electronics, auto parts, accessories, clothing, cosmetics, medication, and more at the speed of 7 to 10 business days. All costs are included. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or in any other state in the USA, you can ship or drop off your goods or packages at our 4,000 square feet warehouse. Customers in Ghana can order or purchase goods and ship them directly to our warehouse, and we will consolidate and ship it to Ghana within 7 to 10 business days. Our ocean shipping service takes 8 to 9 weeks door to door. Again, prices are all inclusive. You don't have to pay any additional fees to customs. We are located at 7661 Rendon Bloodworth Road, Suite 600, Mansfield, Texas 76063. Our contact number 214-493-7745 or 214-994-8846. Transatlantic. We are the #1 air and ocean shipping company from Dallas to Ghana. Come on.
Yo, you try yaba yakono so ye de enkomode no to asomreko but ene de try say be na snappy eya Saturday nyumre obi ajuju no ho ide ye pese be ha mu bebre ye de enkomo no beto asom lawyer the next question is any say any thing be any particular thing be a specific be as a Ghanaian ya o kruma say Biden aba so be new rules new laws ne sa ne manema nyina aba betimi akeka be action because first quarter dey me say be or 1 or 2 be or there are 2 be even.
Sure. So, Bibia usually Crawford Bisami from Mutav Frame Bisami, I think from January Biden Bayana Crawford started Bisa, which is the Biden immigration proposal or the Coma Congress. Me preface it say it's a proposal is a proposal. It's not been fully debated, although yet say how it comes. Congress, they're taking it piecemeal instead of a comprehensive. Say they're Biden the core, they're taking it piecemeal. Right. So there are different aspects of it. Congress debating and then passing as separate laws. Okay. But for union purposes, I think near Crawford person or typically is there. So we will have say not be me will incredible problems. How does it affect me? And so if it becomes law, and I say if it becomes law, so Congress debate or deciding. However, it becomes if it becomes law in the form Biden the coma Congress now, what it would do, they say it will grant temporary legal status for Nkrofwa or Muahasea who are undocumented. Right? They have to go through. They have to pass certain criminal and background checks. But if they were to, well, they have to pass certain criminal and background checks. And the other qualification is that they have to have been here as of January 1st, 2021. You have to have been here physically as of January 1st, 2021. Or if you were removed or deported on or after January 20th, 2017. But if you were deported after January 20th, on or after January 20th, 2017, and you have certain, family or humanitarian grounds, it may be waived. So you may not be here if you don't meet the physically here on January 1st, 2021, but you were deported after January 20th, 2017. You may still qualify, but you would have to stay, to apply to come back if you have family or humanitarian grounds to ask for a waiver. Typically, family grounds would be maybe you were deported and you left the family behind. There may be some humanitarian grounds. It could be health reasons, it could be other reasons, but you would have to apply. Because it's not law yet, the specifics are not really spelled out yet. So if you qualify for any of these things, you get granted a temporary legal status for 5 years. Let me mention that one of the qualifications is also that you must have paid your taxes. So you get granted temporary legal status for 5 years. After those 5 years, you have another 3 years where you can become you can actually apply to become a citizen. If you pass additional background and criminal and background checks.
So if I understand within this timing, if you own your bonibia, everything is fine. When your records, bar records, Bianco, Journey, at least you have a second chance.
Yeah, you have a great chance. I mean, so again, because it's not fully law yet, I wouldn't know what the specifics are, but yeah, I would think so even if maybe any problems that you've had are minor problems, you should be able to qualify. But we'll have to wait and see till the actual legislation comes out and it's signed into law before I can speak to it.
On the other one, the laws, say police age now,
Sure.
And I said Trump time, also don't start boots on your now. By now, we're to meet age now. Is it police now?
Well, I think that it's good practice whether Trump never was announced, Biden never was announced, Obama never was. It's good practice. You at least know a few things about what your rights are. So police stop who will say, unfortunately, I think you're stopping him before. So when you be a crowd because one stop one come to a full stop before you roll through the stop sign or light get where we are so mobile stop so say you stop I think it's important to you know what your rights are. So first of all, I mean you have a right to remain silent. I think you watch a movie on TV, law and all that, so you have a right to remain silent. And so for people don't actually exercise that right. So you have a right not to answer any questions. Police stop you have a right not to answer any questions. So depending on what state you are, you may have to reveal your name. One country in Udia, they can arrest you depending on what state you're in. But other than that, if you have concerns, my advice would be to stay mum, to keep quiet. You have a right not to tell him. Baby, I'll call, baby, I'll fever, baby, your immigration status. You have a right to say to not answer it. I think you can. You can say, well, I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent and not answer that question. You have also the right not to consent to police for search you. A lot of times, why not? Well, it's your right. So you have a right to say, I don't want you to search me, or I don't want you to search. It may not stop the police officer from searching you if they have probable cause, or if they have a warrant. But we're talking about a random stop. Very likely it might not be a warrant issue, unless there's a warrant out for your arrest. But you have a right to say. They may ask you, "Do you mind if I search your car?" You say, "Yes, I do mind. I don't want you to search my car." And that's perfectly within your rights to say that. The next thing is if for some reason or more arrest you have a right to a lawyer, right? You have a right to a lawyer, whether it's somebody that you hire yourself or government appointed lawyer. So sometimes before you're under arrest, what do I have to say to get out of that? Instead of standing on your right to counsel, they almost take us out, and then before you know, you've talked yourself into a bigger problem than again, if they ask you about your citizenship, where were you born, how did you enter this country, you're a citizen. You have a right to not answer those questions. And again, if you're unsure of what to do at all, don't say anything. Exercise your right to remain silent, and then ask to speak to a lawyer before answering any additional questions. If you're not a citizen though, and you get stopped, not necessarily by the police, but maybe an immigration officer or immigration agent of some sort. They ask you for your papers. If you have them, you have to provide them. If you're not a citizen, if you're here on some non-immigrant visa, student visa, or business or tourist visa, for instance, you must show it to them if you have it. If you don't have it, my advice is to say, I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent at this point. I'd like to speak to a lawyer before I answer any further questions. And no matter how many times or maybe typically when you ask for a lawyer, they're supposed to stop questioning you if you're under arrest.
Okay.
You know, if you're under arrest, if you ask for a lawyer, they're supposed to stop questioning you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, sometimes these things don't play out as they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So you have a right to say, I need to speak to a lawyer before I answer any questions. So overall, so if you don't, if said one these things, you remain silent. You don't have to be searched unless they have a warrant or they have probable cause. That wouldn't prevent them from you telling them that you don't want to be searched. Won't prevent them from searching if they have a warrant or a probable cause, right? But overall, I tell people, stay calm, cooperate as best as you can. If the questions they're asking you are stuff that you're not sure about, exercise your right to remain silent, but stay calm. Don't run. Don't argue with the police.
Okay.
Don't obstruct them. If they say they are arresting you, don't resist. Even if you think that you're in the right, your rights are being violated, I would tell you don't do any of those things, because guess what? Sometimes a ticket is just what you're getting. Yeah. Maybe you get the ticket or you get the warning.
Okay.
But it might lead to something, something out of this world. We all know of many cases where a common traffic stop is turned into
a different
national headlines with people losing their lives. So those are the things that I would definitely, because in your community, especially in Brantier, become young men. It was a lot of times they never said it happened. Very often some young black man and I happen to my advice is that you follow these things and you would have the chance to go argue your case in front of a judge, rather than have it turn into something else. Or say while stopping up, you believe you stopped that, you just take your ticket and go to court and argue it and go from there.
Good. Lawyer Fifi for fine. What train say bibi na say ejina wa nyema so ye de ni say oye. Wa maye nguni na answer na ye de nkomode no eba ewiye ano. Menim say e bia wo bibi abesi aka na futu bia de ma Ghana for eba anything about immigration and anything in general, I say we have to know. Sure.
So the mechanism, I forgot to mention this. This was a separate way because I'm discussing estate plans, right? Me preaching estate plans. Yeah, I said, what's an estate plan? We need. I don't have all these assets, so a different thing is to be estate plan, and a different thing is to be a trust, and a different thing is to be a will.
Estate plan, a will.
Estate plan, a will is a component of it, a small part of it. But a will, and that's a trust, and that's a durable power of attorney, and that's a general power of attorney. Nobody wants to die.
I know.
But we all must go at some point. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
So someday we'll all go. So my advice is plan for that day. Say, even if nothing at all, a common will. Say what can I say? I dream say, Devon and me penny has it that me as I say I will be a Ghana has it that the documents me then be a Ghana
talk about
has it that even would die war has says what or die. Because a lot of times, what happens is that BB happened to one year plans and BB happened to what. Now we push up which I feel some almost scrambled to find out. Say it has a faneta, given a papaja and given a mamija, so bank account. Usually, you can't say, so be a FIMA. All I have to do is walk into the bank and tell them, say, Nipa ye fimunti and I made a bushianity and first can mammy. No, and consa say, but sa bank account no one nipa bakudima. Sa bank account and I say, fee and I want I say, capo, I what would demon it has to go through probate. Probate is time consuming and it's expensive and it's public. Eti se ochnebi umpese ebia se skaka kare woja kubanka 1 year na obusia for nsanka. So who die and ebia we just you ebia obusia for pese omo either omo beton and answer omo be refinance and answer bibi ombe ombia it has to go through probate. So wo udimo o car it has to go through any property we ja ewo udimo no has to go through probate before omit me I retitle no we go di ebusia for bi
episode ma oba
and now year and now what I say and now whatever it is no it has to go through probate unless say owaye ebia a trust even so we jana through a will that will still has to go through probate. You know, so my advice, a big advice is that obia embomoding and find a lawyer, talk to them. I know say your many lawyers were Ghanaian community has say me madam for Kwame Akolache. Meaning yes similar things. One friend me a friend Kwame, one friend Kwame a friend, one friend mumi no bia friend lawyer, any lawyer.